In this second tutorial for Keynote, we're going to talk about adding media. That could be adding or styling your images, adding an image gallery, which means multiple images, adding a video, or even shapes and drawings. Let's get started. I'm going to double click because I already had Keynote open and navigate back to my Keynote app. Again, here I see Keynote Basics presentations, some that are in the cloud, or I could start a new one. I'm going to work with my old presentation here, Keynote Basics. Just a reminder here up on the top, maybe this title is not basics and it's actually add media. So I'm going to change that title. So always make sure that you have your title on there so that when you go back, you can edit that. And I'm going to make sure that that has a capital letter. So even if it's just for me, I always like to capitalize and be sure that I have the correct capitalization on titles. So let's get started. So here I have my different slides. Maybe I have another slide and I wanted a placeholder for an image because we are going to add images today. And then I could arrange that if I needed to arrange that differently. I could just hold it there, move it back down there. So if you already have a slide template that does have an image, you can just click on that image. And here it will say a little plus sign here. So I'm going to add and switch out that image for this dog image. So really easy to add an image if you already have it saved on your camera roll. If you're on a slide, let's say, that does not have an area for an image, you need to think about where do you want that image to go. So I'm going to go up to the plus, and just as easily, I was on the image part. I'm going to say photo, and I'm going to find the photo that I want, the same photo. Now I have this dog that's on top of my text, and maybe I want to rearrange it over here. But if you look, my text box actually goes the length of the dog. So I'm just going to resize that text box so that my text, if it is long, it will not go over that dog. And I put it about halfway through. Now I have the image of my dog. Now you do have a dog here that you can resize. So I could just resize that dog to be the shape that I want it to be. But there are some other styling options you have as well. So if I go back up to that paintbrush, let's look at all the different things I can do. I can change the style. It has a border around this. Okay, this one has a drop shadow. Here I could see all the different styles at once. Now remember, if you choose one style for your photos, you might want to continue using that style throughout the presentation. Maybe I want this border around here, and I want the border width to be a little larger. And I also want to have a little shadow on that. So here I created my own custom style. Okay, there can be times where, let's say that you want a slide with some text on it, and if I have some sample text here, and you add a picture that you're thinking, maybe I want this for my whole background. Again, we go back to format because we talked about this arrange option and how to move it all the way to the back. Now, if you look at this slide, zoom out. If you look at this slide, you can see that it could be a bit hard to see that text. I'm going to click on that image. Make sure that my blue dots are on the image so I know that's selected. And I go back to edit this. And in style, on the very bottom it says something called opacity. That's how dark or light the photo is. If I bring that down, then I can really fade that out so that my text is able to be seen. The most important part of a presentation or whatever you're making are the words that you're putting on there to make sure that you are making sure that it's legible. So those are some different effects and styles that you need to know for adding an image. Let's add one more slide. I'm going to show you if I have a title here about all the dogs in the world. And again, I want to use a good capital letter here. All the dogs is my title of this. Maybe I could add several, an image here, 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 here of dogs, but my slide might look very jumbled. Keynote has a feature where you could actually add, instead of just one photo, a whole image gallery. So I'm going to select image gallery here. And now it says tap to add several images. So I'm going to click that plus, and I'm going to choose several images. So I want to choose all 4 of these dog photos. And now I can enter a caption specific to this dog. I think this is a golden retriever. And I could click to the next dog as well. I'm going to zoom this one out just a little bit. And I could add a caption on that. So this is a way that you could actually have several different pictures on one slide. In addition to images, you can also add videos. You can only add one video at a time, but right by the photo, if I have a video here, I could select it and add it into my slideshow. So here's a video, and I'm just going to say use. It compresses it, and then you can rearrange it and put it where you need into your slideshow. Also in the plus, you'll find that here you could add shapes. There are a lot of basic shapes that you could add. There are also some that you might be surprised. So there's a lot of symbols that you can use in your slideshow. Let's say that you have a theme going that's green and you found this blue symbol. You can actually edit that to be any color that you want it to be. You can also add the border and do some adjusting even on the icons that you get to add. So imagine how creative you could be making your own themes, making your own presentations that have a special feel to them with these different icons. So I'm just going to slide all the way here. Okay, so there are just so many different icons that you can look through and find and create your own scenes. When you do need to add text and you don't know where it is, it's actually in basic where it says text here. A lot of people do have a hard time finding that. So if I was going to add this text, let's say to this little box here, I could also format that text to have a background if I needed to. So here you can actually create a lot of different themes. If you don't see a shape that you need, in Photos, you could actually also add a drawing. So here I have a lot of options for drawings, this crayon, a pencil, a marker, and even paint. I can change the color of this. So you can tell now that this is a little similar to Book Creator in that there's a lot of different things that you could do. So I'm painting like my own shape. All right, here's a crayon. And so you can explore that feature as well. This was how to add images, style your images, add an image gallery, add videos, photos, drawings, and shapes. So here's that checklist if you want to go and try some of those things.